Out to our Gage Goulding, who was at that press briefing. Gage, you heard the chief there saying that at this point the threat has been neutralized.
Yeah, right now, that one shooter, female, described as 30 to 35 years old, is deceased. Off-duty officers opening fire after that woman walked into the west side of the church, which is this side of the church right behind us here, Lakewood Church, and opening fire. She was donned with a long rifle and a trench coat, but maybe the most disturbing part of this entire story is that she walked into this church with a small child, approximately 5 years old. That is what Chief Finner is telling us. They walked right in to the front of this church, and then she began shooting. She also had a backpack, and I believe she was threatening that she had explosives. She had a bomb, and she was spraying some sort of substance, and that's why you still see Houston Fire. They have those masks on. They are investigating what that substance was. They say there's no explosives, and at this time they have not found anything that is cause for concern. But that's why you're seeing the massive HFD response right now, is because of what she also threatened to have, and that's prompting that part of the investigation. Now, another part that's unclear that we're trying to understand is there were multiple off-duty officers inside of this church at the time that she walked in and began shooting. She hit a 56-year-old man was shot in the leg, and as officers returned fire, they shot and killed her, the suspect, the 30 to 35-year-old female, and somehow in the crossfire, HPD wasn't necessarily willing to go into details on exactly if they believe their bullets hit this 5-year-old, but somehow this 5-year-old was hit. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. So that's probably the saddest and most unfortunately disturbing part of this entire story, is that a 5-year-old kid, they wouldn't elaborate on whether this child was related to the suspect. They're still working to figure that out, but approximately a 5-year-old child was hit by the gunfire. HPD at this point not willing to say if that was gunfire from the suspect or from those off-duty officers. Another question I asked for, they always have the technology. They're wearing those body cameras. Is there any body camera footage? That's something that they're working for. However, they said if there is, that will be something they will release when the time is right. But right now we know one person is dead, that 30 to 35-year-old female who walked in here with an approximate 5-year-old child. That 5-year-old child was shot at Texas Children in critical condition, and a 56-year-old man was shot in the leg. They were also taken to the hospital. Now we're being pushed back as they continue to investigate here at Lakewood Church. So, Bill, we're going to send this back to you, and we're going to mull over some more of these details, and we'll see you here in a minute, okay?
Gage, we look forward to it. Thank you very much. Again, Troy Fenner.